What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, am wearing a very light face of makeup today, very simple. And that is because I am testing a new foundation today. Today I am trying out the new Kat Von D True Portrait Foundation. Kat Von D was kind enough to send me over 3 shades of this foundation to test. I got it yesterday, and to be honest with you, I put it on my face nearly immediately because I was very excited to try. So I did start wear testing it yesterday. I just filmed little clips throughout my day because I had a full agenda on my plate yesterday, but I was still able to sneak a couple of clips of how it looked when I applied it and how it looked at the end of the day. And I wore it for I think 6.5 to 7 hours. So I gave it a pretty regular day of wear without any heavy workouts or anything in between. And for day 2 of testing, I will show you guys the application process. I will show you guys how it looks immediately after applying it. And then I will also wear it for the rest of the day. And I do have a cycling class later today, so it will go through some rigorous sweaty testing. The 2 days also gave me a chance to try it with and without setting spray, which is nice. And like I said, I wore a really simple look, so that way when I go to the gym, I don't have to take off any heavy eye makeup, which often disturbs the foundation around it. So that way we get a very good picture of what it actually wears like without stacking the cards against it. And a lot of people are probably like, why would you bother? Don't even just wear makeup to the gym, just wash it off before you go. First of all, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but there have definitely been times in my life where I don't have time to fully remove my makeup before I get to the gym. So we just have to make it work. And second of all, you know, the gym is not the only place we get sweaty in life, so it's a good way to take a look at how this might wear under some sweaty conditions. Maybe you go out for a beautiful walk along a hiking trail, but you want to look cute to take pictures when you get to the end. Or maybe you're going to the beach and then you're going to brunch after and you want to remain looking cute. I don't know. There are just reasons why you might get sweaty. So why not test it that way? Now, I hate to be the boring ass bitch who sits here and reads off the information that is sent with the foundations for you guys. However, I'd rather be a boring ass bitch who gives you the proper information than an entertaining ass bitch who sends you away misinformed. So I'm going to read for you what the claims are on this foundation. It says shake, drop, blend. Ideal for normal to oily skin. Moisturize before you apply so skin is hydrated and smooth. Shake very well to ensure that the formula is fully mixed. If it looks watery, you gotta shake it some more. Did that yesterday when I first opened it. It definitely does come out watery. You gotta shake it pretty good. Squeeze to dispense a small drop and blend with fingers. Tip a little goes a long way. I did try this yesterday with my fingers as recommended, but I do personally prefer it with a sponge. I did not find that I lost any amount of coverage with a sponge, but just FYI, they do specifically recommend that you do it with your fingers. So if you don't find that a sponge works for you, then that might be a good option as well. Please do not forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second to do that, because it is very, very helpful to me as a human being, and how I appreciate it. And also, if you are new around here, please don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you around for more videos. And quite frankly, if you do not subscribe, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm not gonna be mad. And if you don't want to subscribe, then just, you know, don't. But that would make me happier if you did, you know? I would like it better if you did subscribe than if you didn't. Does that make sense? Do you agree? Hit subscribe if you agree. As always, any extra information from this video will be linked in the description down below. So first things first, let's just jump into the application, and then we will go through both days, 2 days of a wear test. So I primed my face the way I normally do. They do specifically say that you should use a hydrating primer or moisturize your face before you use this foundation. That's what it said on the little pamphlet that they sent in the PR package. For a little extra hydration, just to be sure, I use the Pixi Skin Treats Vitamin C Serum underneath my Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which is already fairly moisturizing. And then through the center of my face, I use the Milk Blur Stick, because that's what I usually use. I know they work well together. And my pores in the center are both larger and more active, so they're, you know, they're there. and then they're also putting more oil out into the world. I usually know that I need to put something more mattifying and a little bit more pore smoothing through the center of my face. That's why I usually use the Milk Blur stick. They sent me light 18, medium 33, and medium 48. That is what the three of them look like. Yesterday I wore light 33. I felt like it was maybe a tiny touch too light for me right now. I do still have some fake tan on, although I have been extremely lazy and haven't reapplied it in many days. So today I think I'm gonna go with medium 48. This seems to be the more neutral of the two medium shades that they sent. I might mix in a little bit of light 18 as well because I am a little bit worried that it might be a little too dark. They also specify that you need to shake it really well before you put it on your face. It has like a little shaky ball in there, which is both fun and also effective. So this is what the packaging looks like if you haven't seen it quite yet. So the outer white part is like hard ornate plastic, and then through here in the center it's like a little window where this is the actual shade of the foundation. This is actually clear, it is not like a plastic representation of what the foundation looks like, and this is also squeezy. So this is a squeezable part, so that way when you turn the foundation over you can squeeze it out onto your hand like it's a squeeze tube, but you have the hard outside of the bottle, which is really interesting, and I don't think I've ever seen foundation packaging like this before. So at least we've got something new. At least we've got something different. We are making innovations over here. I think the word innovations would imply that like it works differently, but you know what I mean. I applied this yesterday with a sponge and it worked really well, so I'm going to go ahead and do that today. I'm gonna squeeze just a little bit out on the back of my hand. This is a very liquidy foundation, but a little bit does seem to go a long way. So I'm going to start with that. It looks like about a nickel-sized amount. Definitely just a teeny bit too dark, so I'm gonna mix in a little bit of light 18 so we get kind of an in-between shade. Okay, so here's half of my face with the foundation on and half of it without. They claim that the coverage on this is medium, and I would say that that's pretty accurate. I would say this is more true medium coverage, whereas when I reviewed the ABH Luminous Foundation, I said that it seemed more like medium to light. This is definitely more like a medium. And as far as the finish, I'm gonna do the other half of my face at some point, so try to take me seriously for the moment if you can. When I read that it was a matte foundation, I was a little bit like, because I don't usually love matte foundations. I like something that's like a satin finish or a natural finish, not too dewy and not too matte, because too dewy usually winds up looking pretty greasy on me by the end of the day, and something that's too matte kind of makes me look too dry. I feel like it ages my skin. This is a matte foundation, but it's not like so matte that you look like a chalkboard, you know what I mean? It definitely still has some luminance to it, and I don't feel like it sits on any dryness on my face and clings to it or makes my skin look chalky or powdery. I hate the way matte foundations can sometimes make your skin look like, I can't, just cakey powder. For a more matte foundation, this is extremely natural looking. Like, I'm shocked at how natural looking it is on the skin. I'm sure there's a proper match for my skin tone between these two shades, but obviously I'm just working with the three colors that they sent over. The shade range looked like it was pretty good from what I saw online. I only have the three shades that they sent here, so I can't speak for the whole range. And this is what the full face looks like before I add any other concealer, powder, bronzer, highlight, whatever else I'm gonna add to this face before I'm done with it for the day. Obviously, I didn't really put it all around my eye area, so you can just ignore that. Right now, the fine lines on my forehead are looking a little bit prominent. I'm not sure if that's just like what my skin looks like today, but yesterday I was actually feeling like it didn't emphasize them at all, and in fact it was doing a really good job of not settling into them. So I'm not sure if maybe I've just been furrowing my brow a little bit too much today, but the rest of my face I feel like looks very natural. I like the finish. I feel like it's a good amount of coverage where I could pair this with either a full glam look or tone it down for a lighter makeup day. Okay, I did my makeup in the simplest version possible today. I'm not wearing lashes. I really should be, because I have like 4 lash extensions left on each side. So like just mascara looks absolutely batshit. It looks so bad, but I tried my best to even it out with some mascara because I really don't want to put lashes on and then peel them off to go to the gym later. I am going to go ahead and spray my face with some setting spray because yesterday I did not. So today, being that it's going to be a little bit more of a vigorous test, I figured this is a good time to do so. Also, I would like it to stay on if it can. Since we're doing 2 days of wear test, I think it's fair to give it 1 day with the all-nighter setting spray because while we do not want it to limp on the back of all-nighter setting spray, we already saw how it wore yesterday without it. So let's try it with it and see if we can like really get it to last through some vigorous conditions. Currently it is 11:50 a.m. so that's when we will be starting the wear test for today. Yesterday I started it a bit later, so hopefully today that means we can get a longer wear test in. I have just normal stuff to do today before I head to the gym at 5:15. So I just need to do some food prep for the week. I need to do my laundry. We had family in town this weekend and like I feel like my entire life is in shambles. Like it was worth it. We had a really great time, but like now I really got to get back to real life and I don't know, wash my underwear. At the end of the night, I will show you guys what it looks like before I take it off to go to bed. And at that point, we will discuss my final thoughts on this foundation. So for the first day of wear testing this foundation, I used the lightest shade, which is light 18. I think at one point in this video I said it was light 33, but I'm just dumb. It's definitely 18. At first I used my fingers as recommended, but I don't know. I don't like applying my foundation with my fingers. I think it might be partially because I have nails, because I have a hard time, first of all, not getting foundation all over my nails. And also because of my nails, I wind up like putting scratches into the foundation. I just don't prefer that method of applying foundation. So I tried it a little bit along my jawline. It seemed like it worked really well, but I did wind up preferring to use a sponge. I would say that I got a true medium coverage out of it. And for yesterday's application, I was able to layer it up a little bit in areas where I need a little bit more coverage along my cheek. Over here, I had a little bit of a breakout like 2 weeks ago and I have some red spots there. And I was able to cover them by building with a second layer without getting any cakiness. So it does build very well if you want a little bit of extra coverage. This is what the foundation looked like just initially right off the bat on my point and shoot camera. I was standing a few feet away from the window. I started around 3:30 p.m. I felt like it gave me a nice natural finish. Nothing looked very heavy. I definitely also felt like although it is a matte foundation, it still reflects a little bit of light. This is like matte to natural in my opinion. After this initial little check-in by the window, I went about my day. I had some errands to run yesterday and then I had to go to my grandmother-in-law's 90th birthday. So we went out for an early dinner. I ran around with my 2-year-old niece. It was an active day under very normal weather conditions and I didn't work out, but I definitely wasn't super easy on the foundation either. And by about 9:30 last night, which is when I sat down to film the second check-in, I had already peeled my lashes off because, you know, I just couldn't hang. I couldn't hack it anymore. But in general, the foundation still looked beautiful on my skin. Everything had worn really well. I didn't think that it held up like miraculously or anything. I don't feel like I lost a ton of coverage anywhere specifically. I don't feel like any areas specifically wore off, even through my T-zone where it is more oily, which is where my foundation tends to wear off most of the time. But more importantly, it didn't seem to look drying or settle into any lines or cling to any dry patches or anything like that, which sometimes does happen to me when I wear a matte foundation by the end of the day. I also felt like it staved off a lot of oiliness through my T-zone, which is really nice. Generally speaking, I was very happy with how this wore. Like I said, when I finished the application, it was about 11:50, so we'll call it noon for today's wear test. I am gonna go about the rest of my day. I will film check-ins similar to what I did yesterday. So I'm gonna go do some stuff and I will see you guys in a little bit and show you guys how it's holding up. Okay, it is 6:16 p.m. I just got back from the gym. First of all, I wore these light green Gymshark pants. I don't even know if I want to show you guys because this is like, it looks so bad. The light green like absorbs the sweat and it makes me look like I peed my pants. Gymshark, why would you do this to me? I'll show you the top. You can see the top. You can't see the pee-pee portion, but look at that. That's gross. So before I left to go to the gym, I did a quick check-in in the window light. Everything looked pretty much exactly as I expected it to. It looked the same as it did yesterday. It was wearing completely normally. It had obviously only been a few hours, but you know, you gotta make these little check-ins just in case, because you never know when something's gonna go terribly wrong. One thing I did notice is that today I wore the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer and I paired it with the new ABH setting powder, and I don't think those two products agree with each other because I love them separately, but I had very, very creasy, dry looking under eyes today, and it was not good. But that's really neither here nor there, except for the fact that now that I'm home, as you'll see in a moment when I zoom in, the area on my nose where I used that setting powder and I brought my concealer up from around my under eye area is very, very chunky, and I'm noticing that that's pretty much the only area on my face that looks really, really bad. My forehead lost some coverage, like right up here you'll be able to see that it's a little bit red, but from here down, like my chin area, my cheeks, like you can still even see the contour on my cheeks. Like nothing has really fully worn off, which is pretty good considering that I like literally just sweat so much that it looks like I peed my pants in a hot, sweaty room with other hot, sweaty people just sweating and sweating and sweating. Like if you've ever taken a spin class, you know it's like the sweatiest thing ever. It's so goddamn sweaty. Take a shot every time I say sweaty. Don't, because you'll die. So that being said, I think what I'm going to do is call this wear test now. The makeup is wearing okay considering the circumstances, but under normal conditions, at this point, I would feel the need to touch this up. I wouldn't continue throughout my day without at least reapplying on my forehead and evening things back out again. And generally speaking, if that's the case, then I'll end a wear test there because there's no need to beat a dead horse. Like I don't need to see how much more I would need to reapply my makeup in 3 hours. Do you know what I mean? If you can hear all sorts of background noise, it's because there's water running downstairs and my husband's home and my dog's running around, and I'm sorry, I hope you can't hear it. So my initial thoughts on this foundation are that I like it more than I expected to like it, considering that it's a matte foundation and matte foundations sometimes don't agree with me. I think it was helped by the fact that it is a very natural looking matte and also that it's very lightweight. It's not a heavy matte foundation. It's super, super light on the skin. You could even see that it's going to be light from the texture that it is when you pour it out of the container. As I do with most foundation reviews, I am going to continue to wear this foundation throughout the rest of the week to week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And I'll give you guys updates on my Instagram stories, or I'll make mention if I change my thoughts on it at all in another tutorial. So if you want updates on it, you can go catch me on Instagram. I'll talk about it on my stories if I have any more thoughts on it. If I'm comparing this to their Lock-It foundation, I like this much better. Lock-It foundation is a little bit too heavy for my taste. I know a lot of people love it. I know it's a holy grail for some people, but for me, it's a little bit too much. I love the Lock-It concealer too, by the way, but I don't think I would pair it with the Anastasia setting powder because it did not work out well for me today. The packaging on this is, honestly, this is the coolest foundation packaging I think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen cooler foundation packaging. If you could name one, then please feel free to, but this is so different and cool, and I love that you can squeeze this part as a squeezy tube, but it's hard and you could stand it up on your desk. I think that's fantastic. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you are interested in this foundation. Are you a diehard fan of their original Lock-It foundation? Do you like the Lock-It concealer? Or if you have an absolute holy grail medium coverage matte foundation that you think that I would like, leave it in a comment down below, because I am personally surprised at how much I enjoyed this. So, you know, I want to try to open my mind to maybe foundations that I wouldn't have tried in the past. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a moment to do that, because it really helps me out and I very much appreciate it. And also, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe because I would love to have you around for more videos. I think later this week, we will probably have at least 3 looks. I may try to squeeze in even more than that if I can with the new Norvina Volume 1 palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. That should be here tomorrow, and I'm gonna start filming with it right away. So hopefully that will be up sooner than later. I hope you found this first impression and wear test helpful. If you've been curious about this foundation, I will leave all of the information in the description down below for the availability of it, but it does come out on September 2nd. So that's a few days from when you will be seeing this if you are seeing it when I first upload. I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.